Indeed, it is the best time of the day. Welcome in to all the good people out there. This is Early Edge Live. We are powered by the almighty SportsLine. I, of course, am the coach, and over the course of the next 45 to 60 minutes, we will count down to Monday Night Football. The Giants traveling to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the 3-4 Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs, I'm trying to break the jinx tonight because me and M squared, we need a W. But first and foremost, we have to do the show objectively. Let's pound that like button because here's what we're doing tonight. 200 likes, 2 free year-long memberships to SportsLine. 400, we'll do 4. 600, 6 more. But then look at that. If we get to 800 likes tonight, I'm going to give away a $100 gift card towards a Paramount Plus subscription. You get Champions League soccer. You get all the different things that Paramount Plus has to offer, and we'll give you $100 towards that. Then if we get to that very elusive 1,000 likes number, which you've only done one all year, you will get the very exclusive Coach Me action figure courtesy of Prop Stars. So with that being said, let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know when it's Monday night, I bring all the heavy hitters to the table. First and foremost, he's the best-looking guy on the show right below me. You can catch him all the time, all over the place. We just simply call him Sia. Sia, welcome back to the Early Edge Live. Oh, no! Oh, Mikey, what just happened?
I love Jay Smooth's ability to make an appearance on the show no matter what day it is. I love it. I absolutely love it.
You know, truly, that was for him because I hate how he's always in the doghouse. So I just took one for the team and went ahead and had my mute on.
That made my day. That's exactly how I wanted to start the show, even though that wasn't on purpose. That was fantastic. Thank you, Sia. Now, right next to Sia. The man's been busy working all weekend, getting in his shifts so he can get done and get back home for us. AB, how are the other jobs going, sir?
Yeah, they're going great. You know, regional manager both at Bass Pro and Chick-fil-A let me off tonight so I can do the show. And, you know, the fact that I get to sit next to Sia as well. So that's fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's just it's a gift that keeps on giving. All right, back up north, the man who coined the phrase "pulling a J Smooth." We affectionately call him M squared. Mikey, what's up, man?
What's up, Coach? What's up, guys? Great to see you all. Love seeing Sia and Alex on the show. Of course, we love seeing AB. I almost wore the Bass Pro Shops hat again, but we're going to ride out the Atlanta Braves for another night or two. But we might make that Bass Pro hat a regular here. I had a lot of positive feedback on that
one. We sure did. Now, he couldn't hold on to the Chick-fil-A cup because his girlfriend likes to keep it nice and tidy around the apartment. You got to throw that away. But the hat's nice. The hat's nice. Now, he is our props rock star. And when he is not on a show, it absolutely destroys him from the inside out. Fresh, coming out of the lab, he is Prop Stars. Alex, welcome back to the show.
What's up, Coach? What's up, gentlemen? I'm super excited. We finally have a fun game to talk about. I'm really looking forward to this matchup. So, yeah, I'm ready to crush some props.
Guys, guess what? Guess what? We are expanding the show. Jeweler, throw that up on the screen for me. Look who is watching the show right now. I cannot believe it. We're just not big in the continental United States. No. We're going to Puerto Rico. That's right, my man Antonio, watching for the very first time. Antonio, welcome to the family. Welcome to the Early Edge. Welcome to SportsLine. You're respected here, pal. You're welcomed here. Everybody in the chat, say hello to Antonio and welcome him to the show and all the good people in Puerto Rico. Now, those of you in the chat, keep pounding that like button. I want to break records tonight. But first and foremost, we got some top storylines from the NFL to get into. Then in about 10 or 15 minutes, we'll get into all the picks from the show, give you plenty of time. And then about 40 after the hour, that's when Prop Stars really starts to hit his strides. We'll hit props for about 20 minutes up to the top of the hour, and then do the Van Jefferson Memorial first touchdown of the game and the donkey parlay of the game, courtesy of M Squared. But, guys, this is probably the first week. And see, I'm going to come to you first. That we had so many big storylines that are really going to affect the betting market, the team market, and we're going to start with the Rams. They sent out a tweet today and said, we're all in. They traded for Von Miller. He's emotional about it. I don't think he likes it, but he's going to a winner. and now the Rams have him, Ramsey, everybody else, and probably the best defensive back number 99 or defensive player number 99 as well. See, how big of a deal is this for the Rams?
It's a big deal, but it's not as big of a deal as I think people are going to make it out to be. I mean, I think Von Miller is a great talent, but he's also 32 years old and 2 years removed from an Achilles injury. So he is going to get the benefit of Aaron Donald getting so much coverage from the offensive line that he's going to get around the edge and he's going to wreak some havoc, but he's not the same. And nobody is at that position, or very few people are the same guy at 32 coming off a couple injuries than they were at, 24 or 26. So I think it's a big deal in terms of, hey, this defense was already good. Now it was already great. Now it's even a little bit better. Outside of that, I don't think the number on their Super Bowl would have moved much. I didn't look,
right.
But if it did, I'd be really surprised. And if it did, it would have moved by like a point maybe. So it's a big deal, but it's not a huge deal.
AB, from a front office perspective, how much credit do we give to the Rams for saying, you know what, this is the team that's going to get us to the promised land, so we've got to do everything we can. Even if it's not as big of a deal, like Sia said, as we think, at least they're making moves, right?
Oh, yeah. If you're a fan of the Rams, like, you love this. Like, you know that your team and Les Snead is all in on bringing and trying to go get a title. Now, it's less exciting during the draft because you have no draft picks whatsoever. And I'll say the greatest job in sports has to be on the scouting department for the Rams. You just kick up. You don't have to scout anybody. You're not going to have any draft picks. But for the fact, I mean, I love it. Fans love it. If you're going to go for it, go all in. The NFL, it stands not for long. You got a window. Go get it.
Speaking of not for long. Yeah, Alex, what do you got on this one, pal?
They did give up a second and a third round pick. That's correct, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they give up everything. They don't have any draft.
That is a tremendous amount of draft equity to give up for a 32-year-old pass rusher who is more name than he's game at this point. I do love Von Miller. He's had a great career, but he ranks as the 22nd best pass rusher by PFF. So he's no longer the game wrecker and defensive force that he was 3-4 years ago. It's definitely a good addition, but that is a ton of draft equity to give up for an aging veteran who's being paid a lot of money.
AB.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Now, we found out this morning why Von Miller was inactive yesterday. The Rams said, like, they had this deal going, and they said, do not play him. No. You bring him us for Sunday night against the Titans this week. Yeah, we're going to hold off for him. So, yeah.
There's no doubt about that, and also give credit to Prop Stars. We always try to put it in perspective because I think as fans at home, we just look at it. I'm guilty of this as well and say, whoa. And then when you break it down, you look at him. He's not really affecting the game right now anyway. So the other big one from Sunday, and there's two more, and Mikey, I'm going to come to you, is, of course, Derrick Henry. And the fact that he's going to have surgery tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning. They're saying out indefinitely. It could be anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks. But let's be honest. The way that he runs the football and what he does, he's got to be 100%. Now, I know this is a big deal on a lot of fronts. Talk to me.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And first I want to start off by saying on the Von Miller thing, I like some people have pointed it out, but the social media team with the little tweet, I don't think they finished watching the movie because they actually lost the hand that he went all in on in the movie. So we should point that out. If they don't make the Super Bowl there, he actually loses that hand that he goes all in. But as far as the Derrick Henry news, Derrick Henry is obviously a big deal to this team. I found it interesting that they're signing Adrian Peterson. I guess it makes sense because they're not really giving anything up, not really mortgaging the future to try and go plug that hole for right now. That tells me that they think that there might be a small chance that Henry recovers quicker than they think potentially. And they think that they've got enough pieces to fill in, and they may still not be done yet other than the trade deadline passing, but it's a big deal to them. We mentioned just last night how we actually like them when teams try to stop Derrick Henry a little bit, as it opens things up for Tannehill and those receivers. But the combination early, at least right now, if Julio Jones is going to miss some time and Derrick Henry missing time at the same time, definitely going to be significant for them in the first few games here.
Yeah, very true. I don't know how confident I would be, Alex, in a running back that I signed that then tweets out, I think I can still do this. Your thoughts on how this affects the prop market for the Titans?
Yeah, this is an absolutely massive blow. Unlike Von Miller, Derrick Henry's been absolutely exceptional. He's undoubtedly one of the best running backs, probably the best running back between the tackles in the NFL, possibly even in NFL history, at least in the last decade or so, plus probably since Adrian Peterson was in his prime. Huge loss. Adrian Peterson is nowhere near the same player he was. He's still in great shape. He's still going to get you a couple of yards, but Derrick Henry possesses the type of game-breaking ability where every single touch he is capable of taking to the house. Peterson is just a good player, but just a shell of his former self. He's going to pick up 2-3 yards. He's going to be serviceable, but it is a huge, huge loss to the Titans. If I were the Titans, and what I expect the Titans to do is to transition to more of a passing offense, rely more on A.J. Brown. Hopefully Julio Jones is healthy soon, but A.J. Brown has looked phenomenal. I would lean heavily on their passing game at this stage of their season.
AB.
Yeah, this potentially fundamentally changes the entire Titans offense and how they approach the game. I think it'd actually be smart for them to go try and trade for a wide receiver as opposed to trying to fill Derrick Henry, because you're not going to fill him. You're not going to fill those carries. You're not going to fill that workload at all. But we talked about it yesterday on the show, and I'll bring this name up again. Jeremy McNichols is your guy, because remember, the Titans' number 2 running back, Darrington Evans, is on injured reserve as well. So Jeremy McNichols is going to get even more passes in the screen game. I think he ended up with almost 30 yards yesterday. Keep an eye on that name. And side note, this is how long Adrian Peterson has been playing. When he was a rookie in the NFL and he had 260 carries, Derrick Henry was 13 years old.
That's amazing. See ya in the chat. WSDJ says, I thought everyone was saying running backs are replaceable. You're a DFS guru. You're a genius. What would you say to that?
Well, Derrick Henry sort of changes the paradigm, because he's not like any other running back. I mean, if Derrick Henrys are coming out of the draft every year, you draft Derrick Henry. The difference is every year Derrick Henrys aren't coming out in the draft. This guy, for his size, we're used to seeing guys that are Derrick Henry's size have the speed of like your TJ Ducketts of the world or your Ron Baines, and they just don't mow people down like Derrick Henry does. He has both the speed of a running back that runs like a 4.4, and he has the size of those running backs I mentioned. It's just the rare combination that can really start your offense. And now you can lean on play action. Now your offense completely opens up because it sucks everybody up to the line of scrimmage, and guys like A.J. Brown, Julio Jones are wide open. And by the way, Alan, wouldn't it be great, because he mentioned the receiver thing, and I think that's an interesting take to go out and get a receiver. Man, Odell Beckham would probably like to be on a playoff-bound team sometime in the near future. Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, and A.J. Brown on the same team with Ryan Tannehill, who, by the way, was also a receiver in college. That would be amazing.
Yep,
I really was. Yeah. All right. Now, my girl Kelsey is handling her business. I have a feeling we're going to have to give Kelsey a job at some point, because she takes care of a lot of the business in the chat that I don't have time to take care of, and that's why we love her so much. All right, we are going to change the first 2 lives of the show. So here's what we're going to do. 200 likes. You guys did it. You listened to me. So here are our first 2 winners. At SNABA1955, at Sackman37. Now, I need you all to drop your Twitter handles into the chat. That's the only way that you're going to be eligible to win anything on the show. And by the way, I'm a little thirsty right now. I need to take a little bit of a drink from this Early Edge water bottle keeps everything so cold. It's so cold. Speaking of cold, I have a feeling that down in New Orleans right now, boys, and Mikey, I'm going to come to you. They're trying to figure out, how do we not go cold after the hottest win on Sunday over the Buccaneers? But we find out today that Jameis Winston has a torn ACL, a messed up MCL, and Sean Payton will not say whether it's Taysom Hill or whether it's Trevor Siemian that will get the starting nod in their next game. What does this do for the Saints, Mikey?
It's definitely significant for them. It changes the way that they're going to have to run the game. The good news is the rest of the team is getting healthy at the right time. And I don't think it's going to be one or the other. I think it's going to be right back to the Drew Brees days where we saw Taysom Hill in the mix. I think both of these quarterbacks are going to play snaps in the same game. I think it's obviously a mess if you're playing fantasy. Could be a mess if you're trying to bet props on the game. But they're going to figure out ways to manage the game. They're going to lean heavily on that defense. They're going to lean heavily on putting the ball in the hands of Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, who they just went out and acquired. Really nice that they went out and got Mark Ingram before this Jameis news. Definitely going to help them down the stretch. But I think the combination of the two of them, the weapons that they have as they get healthy, and then the defense that they have, I don't think it's the massive drop-off that we would expect it to be if it was happening early in the season. At this point in the season, I think they're going to be able to manage it, and I think that they're still going to be a fine team in the NFC.
Very good. We have almost 800 people watching right now. We should very easily get to 400 likes. To be honest, 600. Let's pound that like button. Take the comments down. Put them right back up. Do that for me. Anybody else want to weigh in on Jameis Winston and the Saints before we get to our picks for tonight?
Yeah, I'll say one thing. They were already running an offense on smoke and mirrors. Now you have to run smoke and mirrors on smoke and mirrors. Like Sean Payton said it. He was like, I can't go get another quarterback. This offense is too much. Like we're not going to have enough time. So I am fascinated to see what they do. M Squared's right. They're getting healthy, but this is tough, man.
All right. It's very, very tough. And this is why the NFL is so difficult to bet on. It's so difficult to predict because things change all the time. And this Sunday was the most unpredictable week that we've seen in a very, very long time. But we spin it forward to tonight. And the Chiefs, they've been around that 10 number all week. What's the official number, Julia, we're going with on the total tonight, please? Because I know it's been changing.
53 is what Caesars has it at right now.
Okay. We're going to go 53, and it's still at 10, correct?
10.5.
10.5. Okay, so 10.5 and 53. So we had another text question, and AB, I'm going to go to you with the text question from El Paso. A man from El Paso, at least I think it's a man from El Paso, and he wants to know that he is planning on betting on the Chiefs tonight. Is that a smart bet? Answer it, and then go into your pick for the game, please.
Down in El Paso. Yeah, look, I'll say this. Look, I think the Chiefs do cover tonight. However, I am going with the Chiefs first half, -6.5. I think that they get off to a fast start, and you look across the field, the New York Giants, they are averaging 1.8 points per first quarter in games this season, and it's not much better in the second quarter. You look at the Chiefs, they're averaging nearly 5 in the first quarter, 6+ in the second. So I'm going to go with the first half under 7. The first quarter looked nice, but that 3.5, that hook, it can get you way too quickly. But that first half, I think the Chiefs come out fast tonight because, to be completely honest with you, what else do they have to play for? They have to come out, throw it against the wall. There's nothing to be nervous about. So, yeah, I actually feel the Chiefs tonight. Yep.
All right, very good. They got very lucky with the Chargers losing yesterday. The Broncos did get a win, but they're not. I mean, they were just 3-4 to start yesterday anyway. So the Chiefs are very much alive, but they can't afford any more of these silly losses. Sia, what's your official play for the game tonight?
Yeah, I like the Giants plus 10.5. I actually saw it creep up to 11, but I think it's back down to 10.5. Oh, you almost got me on that one. I just think that first of all, I think 10.5 is too many points for one. The Giants are a pretty good NFL team, and they're going to get not the full complement of receivers, but Galladay is out, but they do have Sterling Shepard, they do have Darius Slayton, Kadarius Toney, Evan Ingram is finally healthy. So, listen, the Chiefs give up way too many yards and way too many points per game for me to be convinced that they can cover 10.5. I think we mentioned it before the show, Coach. You mentioned it. I think a backdoor cover is in play at the very least. They're giving up almost 30 points a game and over 400 yards a game. And by the way, at home, it's not like they're faring better. They're bad at home as well, at least so far. So, by the way, over their last 14 games, how many times have they covered the spread? I believe as favorites 3.
Yeah,
so
it's like 2 or 3.
So it would be one thing if Toney and Shepard were both out, but with them being in the mix, I just think it's too much. It's too many points.
All right. How about, by the way, 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 home games as well. Now, AB, you like the Chiefs tonight. Sia, you like the Giants tonight.
Ooh. What do we got?
Smell a little something. Anybody? Mm-hmm. Anybody? SportsLine Showdown? Sia's in plus 10. AB?
Yeah.
AB?
Coach, tell him to hit that music.
Hit the music, Jeweler. Let's go, everybody. Damn it, we got it. All right, Sia's on plus 10.5. You got minus 10.5 for our official SportsLine Showdown. I love that so much. By the way, Bazooka Joe in the chat said the over-under minus 115, I think, on how many times we mentioned Kelsey over 2.5. Well, there's 2 right there. I control this bet. All I need is one more goal to say her name. I didn't say it yet. All right. Now, Prop Stars, you're up there chomping at the bit, baby. You're up there chomping at the bit. You were in the lab all day today. What did you come out with?
Yeah, so I've got 2 plays for the game. I actually gave both of these plays out on our Friday prop show, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Encourage everyone to tune in because, as you will see, the numbers have since changed drastically, but I still love these props. The first one being Daniel Jones over 241.5 passing yards. Jones has hit this in 5 of 7 games so far this season. That includes a game where Jones exited early after suffering a concussion in the first half versus the Dallas Cowboys. Jones hasn't inspired a lot of confidence for the Giants, but he's been plagued with very poor offensive line play. He's dealt with a plethora of injuries to pass catchers and running backs. Fortunately for Jones, Sterling Shepard is due back. In addition to Shepard, Kadarius Toney, Sia mentioned Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram are also healthy. He will square off against a Chiefs defense that has been obliterated by opposing quarterbacks this season. 6 of the quarterbacks that Kansas City has faced has thrown for at least 239 yards through the air so far this season. Huge games by all of the quarterbacks. Kansas City is surrendering the 3rd highest yards per pass attempt, 8.3, 7th most passing yards per game, 275.7, ranked 31st in DVOA. Last but not least, obviously the Chiefs are double-digit favorites against the Giants. I'm expecting Jones and the Giants to be playing from behind, having to air the ball out a ton to stay competitive in what is likely to be a very motivated Chiefs team tonight. The Chiefs offense is going to have its way, in my opinion, against the Giants defense. However, I think Jones is going to move the ball a ton against a very dismal Kansas City secondary, especially between the 20s, which is what we're looking for. My second prop is Travis Kelce over, shout out Kelce, 6.5 receptions. I got this at minus 130. I believe it's all the way juiced up to like minus 160 on most books now. Kelce has eclipsed his total in 4 of 7 games. He has at least 6 catches in 6 of 7 games this season. He has double-digit targets in 3 straight games and is averaging 10 targets per game over his last 5 games. He'll face a Giants team that has given up the 8th most receptions to the tight end position this season. The Giants defense is missing multiple key defenders. Blake Martinez, Jabril Peppers just tore his ACL in week 7. Reggie Ragland, who is the Giants starting middle linebacker, has struggled mightily in coverage. He is going to be tasked with covering Kelce tonight, and he's going to struggle. I'm expecting a very motivated Chiefs team. I talked about it with the Daniel Jones prop. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot. They're going to step on the Giants' neck. Despite being 10-point favorites, I think the Giants are going to be competitive. The defense, no lead is safe. With this Kansas City defense, they're going to throw the ball a ton. I expect Kelce to be the focal point of Kansas City's offense tonight.
You know what? That was as thorough an analysis as you will ever have of 2 plays here on the show. Now, while you were doing that, we got a text from Scott. And Scott said, let's go. I'm joining from the gym today, which is something that AB has never said in his life. We're joining from the gym today. Do you even know a guy named Jim, AB?
Well, I was going to say, I logged in at my buddy Jim's house. Like, does that count? Or?
Oh, my God. We're almost to 400 likes. This is how much we love Alex. During those 2 picks, we gained 15 likes. You're a 15-like talent on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, Mikey. What do you got for us tonight?
All right, Coach. I'm playing Tyreek Hill's over receiving yards, 81.5, minus 110 on FanDuel right now. I have this number all the way up to 96 in the simulations. I like Alex. I do think that Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill can both get to their numbers tonight. I think they're going to lean heavily on both of these two. They're going to step on the throat here. Absolute must-win game for them. Love them in primetime at home here. I do not think they take the foot off the pedal at all tonight. It's bit them many times this season. I think that they come out focused, come out ready to go. I like this number for Tyreek quite a bit against this defense. And I do think the Giants are good enough to keep this one competitive to where they're actually going to have to throw the ball late into this game. So I do like Tyreek Hill over 81.5. That is my official play. And then I'll have a parlay and all that here for you at the end of the show.
I love the donkey parlay in about 25 minutes. How does that make you feel, AB, that not only Sia is against you, but Mikey backed up Sia and said he likes the Giants to be competitive tonight.
Oh, no.
You can't.
I like them to be competitive. I don't think they're going to cover still. I think
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Yeah,
My bad.
Double
Kansas
digits.
City's
My
gonna
bad.
cover still.
Yeah. Quick shout out. Trevor Biles or Bees says, shout out your boy. I won $600 last weekend off those kicker props. So at least somebody likes Uncle Dave. Cool. All right. Now, we know when he's not on the show, he's never very far away. So the man demanded, boys. I'm not kidding. The man demanded his own full screen. I'm not kidding. So I've got 3 more official plays for the game tonight from the maestro himself. But we're calling him Monday Night Maestro. That's right. We're going to go Tyreek Hill. We're going to correlate with Mikey over 6.5 catches, only -110. Then Daniel Jones over that rushing yards, 24.5. This dude can run. Make no mistake about it. Then exclusive to the show, he did not release this one earlier today on the Twitter. We're going to go Giants team total over 19. Now, I will say that the book I use has raised it all the way up to 20.5. So we'll have to text him. Jeweler, if you could text him what he would play it up to, and we will get that official play because it's not at 19 anymore. I know that. All right. With that being said, we have now arrived at the favorite time of the show. It goes so fast. So if you have a prop that you are interested in, that you would like to play, or you want our guys to talk about, put it into the chat and attach your Twitter handle. By the way, we just got the 400 likes, so we're in the process of selecting our 4 new winners of a year-long membership to SportsLine. So I want to start with the quarterbacks because tonight we all think it's going to be a wide-open game. We all think that this is going to be a lot of yards. So Daniel Jones over 246.5 is juiced to 143, and the Mahomes over 302.5. Now, prop stars, I want to come to you because you're on the Daniel Jones anyway, and I'm just giving that number out to compare it to yours. How do you make both of these numbers, and do you like Mahomes as well?
Yeah, I actually think Jones has moved up further north than that. The last I checked, I could be mistaken.
Really?
Though.
I've got to look at it again then.
Yeah,
I just wrote that down like a few minutes ago.
Okay, yeah, I could be mistaken, but yeah, when I jumped, I thought he was up to 255 actually.
No, he's at 246.5 still.
Oh, okay, yeah.
At least at my book he is. At my book he is.
Yeah, I still like Jones at that number. That's a very small movement compared to the 241.5 we gave out on Friday. So yeah, absolutely comfortable playing that number. I think he's an underrated quarterback. He's not a top tier quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, but he is better than the general consensus of him is. He also has some pretty electric weapons to work with, specifically Kadarius Toney. I've been extremely impressed by. So I'm expecting Jones to have to throw the ball. He's going to be able to be successful, in my opinion, as well, versus this Kansas City defense that ranks 31st in DVOA, has very much just struggled containing anyone. So yeah, I'm expecting Jones to be able to move the ball a ton between the 20s. And then as far as Mahomes is concerned, that is a large number, but I'm expecting a very, very aggressive Chiefs team to continue to be aggressive throughout all 4 quarters. They cannot afford to take their foot off of the gas at all. Their defense is terrible. Their no lead is safe with this Kansas City defense. So I'm expecting Mahomes and the Chiefs to throw the ball a ton. Kelsey and Hill to have huge days. So yeah, I like both totals. I'm leaning over on both. Obviously Jones, I'm making an official play over. So yeah, I like them both.
Using the word terrible is actually being kind to their defense. That's how bad they've been. See, let me come to you because he said we expect both to throw a ton. So the attempts number over 36.5 plus 131 for Daniel Jones. Mahomes over 37.5, juiced at -113. Your thoughts on those two?
I just prefer to go with the yards, to be honest with you, because I also love the Daniel Jones one. If I was going to take the attempts, it would probably be the Daniel Jones one. But I agree, whatever the number is at, whether it's 246.5, I've seen it just like Alex, all the way up to around 255. But really, that's the prop I'm playing tonight, because anybody can kind of run the ball on the Chiefs, but what the Giants have been better at, especially when they have the full complement of receivers, is passing the ball. They're just a better passing team. Daniel Jones can sling it, and he should be able to sling it against the Kansas City Chiefs, who, again, we've said it now 3 or 4 times, are just really porous, particularly against the pass. They give up a ton of yards, and I expect them to do that more through the air, mostly because Booker isn't a super talented running back. I mean, it would be different if Saquon Barkley was back there, but he's not. So I think they're going to have to do a lot through the air. And I think if Kadarius Toney and Shepard are healthy throughout the game, and you combine Ingram and Slayton with that, I think that's plenty of yards to go around. So I'll take the over. If it's 246, I love it. And even at 255, I like it there too.
All right, very good. AB, let me come to you because a lot of people in the chat, and this is shocking. If we would have told you 2 months ago that this would be one of the props that people were looking forward to playing, we would have told them they were crazy. But Patrick Mahomes, over a half an interception, is juiced. Let me see what I have it juiced to. I believe it's around 115, something like that. There's different numbers in the chat. Regardless, it's in that neighborhood. What do you think? Because he's been a turnover machine the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Machine, and it has to do with his team, it has to do with the offense, and it has to do with the defense. Quite frankly, he's trying to do too much. I think he's only had one game where he didn't have an interception, and I believe that was week 1 or week 2. Here's the problem, is that the game script could get out of your hand to where you don't see a lot of pass attempts in the third and fourth quarter. I'm not saying that they blow him out by any means, but it could happen. So just be careful of that. You're definitely playing that for a first through 3 quarters type of a bet. But, I mean, historically, of what we've seen the last 5 weeks, it's there. Now, I will say this. The Giants run zone coverage about 75% of the time. Patrick Mahomes has actually had pretty good success against zone coverage this year, about a 71% comp, 60% TD to INT ratio. So he's done okay. But still, he's thrown 4 interceptions against zone coverage to 6 touchdowns. Yeah, it's a pretty good bet.
Okay. Alex, you got something on this?
The Giants actually also have a couple of very talented defensive backs. James Bradbury is one of the most underrated corners in the league. Logan Ryan also is a very good safety. He's got a ton of ball skills. So, yeah, I don't typically play interception props, but I do think there is some value. The Giants actually have a sneaky, talented secondary who have ball skills and who are capable of picking him off.
All right, very good. Mikey, let me come to you. In the chat, Austin wants to know, first quarter over-under is 10. You love these kind of bets. Your thoughts on this one?
I'll take the over on it. I think that, especially if Kansas City gets the ball first, they're going to march down and score a touchdown in this game. I think that they've got this first drive scripted out really well. So I'll take the over on that one at 10.
Okay, very good. By the way, the bosses just texted in, and you know it annoys me when they do that. But actually, this time it's helpful. There is an alternate line. You can play a little more juice and take the team total that the Maestro sent in and take it down to 19.5, and then you still have that winning part of it if they score 20. Because right now it's 20.5. Take it down to 19.5. A little alternate line, something I learned from my man Mikey right there, that you got alternate lines all over the place. All right, let's continue. Any prop you have in the chat? We're still collecting the 4 new names. Let's get to 600 likes, though, because I see everybody there. B, Scott, Kartnick, Nick. I mean, who else is in the chat right now? I mean, so many people. Gavin, Hans, Nick, Brian, Scott, 420, Danny, Jacob. We see all of you, and we appreciate all of you as well. Let's go down to some receiver props, guys, because that's where we find Tyreek Hill. That's where we find Travis Kelce. So the only prop that I saw, and I want somebody to explain, maybe Sia, you can explain this to me. There's really only 1 or 2 passing props for receivers for the Giants, and then there's a whole bunch for the Chiefs. Why do we think that is?
Oh, I don't know, outside of the fact that we weren't sure which receivers were playing. So I don't know what props you're looking at, but you probably wouldn't have hung up a prop on Sterling Shepard or Kadarius Toney until they were active. And then maybe those props have been introduced depending on the book, but it was only probably in the last 25, 30 minutes that they were declared active.
Yeah, Evan Ingram is over 3 catches at minus 148, and Devontae, excuse me. Why am I not reading this right? Over 2.5. Book, what's the last name?
Devontae Booker.
Thank you, Devontae Booker, over 2.5, minus 136. Those are the only 2 passing props, Alex, that I have at my book.
Yeah, that is because coming into this game, Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard were both questionable. I just checked; they're both as active. That is very positive news for the Daniel Jones prop. and for any Giants related props that you may have, or at least like related to the team total, etc. So yeah, they're going to have a pretty healthy complement of receivers outside of Kenny Golladay. Tony has been electric this season, especially over the last 3 games. He's been absolutely exceptional. Sterling Shepard is a very, very solid slot receiver who Daniel Jones has a ton of chemistry with and a lot of trust with. Ingram has been somewhat of a disappointment, but he has the athletic tools to be a productive player. But yeah, he's kind of had an up and down career thus far. But yeah, I think there's value in some of these Giants pass catchers, but unfortunately we didn't have their props up until recently. I don't even know if Shepard and Tony's props are even out yet because of the fact that their status was questionable.
They are in, thanks, Coach. They are in certain books. So Kadarius Toney's 55.5 and Sterling Shepard is 59.5, and no juice on either of those.
Thank you, Sia, very much. Appreciate that. Now, we already have 2 official plays on the catches, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. But, Mikey, let me come to you, and then, AB, you can piggyback here. Receiving yards, over 77.5 for Kelce. Tyreek Hill over 82.5. Kelce's minus 133. Hill is minus 119. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, I've already played Tyreek Hill's over at 81.5. I'd play it all the way up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. My bad.
Yeah, I played up to 86. I saw that question in there as well. I have this number at 96 in the model, and I think that the ceiling on this is significantly higher than that. And then Travis Kelce, same story. I like both of these players. You typically want Tyreek against a man coverage, not the zone. However, I think in this spot, Tyreek's still going to be able to find holes and go sit down in the zone and then turn those into big plays. So I like them both. I would lean towards the over on both. The edge is bigger on Tyreek's over on yardage. And then if on Kelce, if I had to pick between the two, I would prefer the receptions number, as I do think that he's going to have a few of the shorter depth of target plays tonight, as I think he's going to find that immediate hole in the zone. And I think that's where Mahomes is going to dump him there. I'm guessing that's why Alex likes the over on Travis Kelce's receptions as well. And then I'll still take the yards on Tyreek.
All right, speaking of Kelce, and maybe I'll come to you, but I got to ask Alex, since he mentioned Kelce, because some people in the chat, their books have it Kelce at 7.5. Alex, would you play it up to 7.5?
For 7.5, I'd consider like a half unit play if it's like plus 125 or plus 130. Outside of that, if it's like juice on the opposite side, then I wouldn't play it.
Okay. AB, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to stick here with the Kansas City receiving yards prop, but I'm going to make an official play on Byron Pringle over 22.5 receiving yards tonight. Look, his target shares have increased over the last 3 weeks. In the last 2 games, he's averaged 63 yards receiving per game. He had 73 and then 53 as well. And I think that you look at this Chiefs offense, they have to find someone that can catch the ball, move the ball, and someone that Mahomes trusts. And I think that Byron Pringle is a guy that they trust right now. So, yeah, I'm going to play him official play over 22.5 receiving yards.
Alex?
I like the Pringle prop. I agree with AB, everything he stated. I also just wanted to mention that the Chiefs have been disappointed with McCole Hardman. He has been just inconsistent performing. He's had a lot of drops. It just hasn't given them the sort of production that they want out of their third receiving option. Pringle, on the other hand, has looked better, frankly, and I see his role continuing to grow in the offense. I see him taking snaps away from McCole Hardman. It wouldn't surprise me to see him replace him in some 3 wide receiver sets tonight as well.
All right, so let me ask you this. The McCole Hardman prop is over 3 catches. Would you play that under?
Not necessarily, because he could still be given where there's just, it's a little bit of a cloudy situation. Pringle has outplayed him. It doesn't necessarily translate to being that he's going to replace him. We don't have definitive news on that front. So I wouldn't play his under, because he could still be seeing a healthy target share and a lot of snaps. So no, but I'd be much more comfortable with Pringle versus Hardman.
Very good. Chat question. Mikey, I'm coming back to you. Over 10.5 longest rush for Patrick Mahomes.
Over 10.5. Yeah, I would lean towards the over on that one. I would lean towards the over. It's close, but I do think that if he's going to have to be running, he will probably have that 12 to 14-yard run in one play there. Now, before we move on, because we're talking rushing props, there's one that I actually do like. You don't find it on a lot of books, but Caesars has it up right now. Tyreek Hill is listed at a half a rushing yard tonight. I like that a lot. If you go look at, he doesn't get a carry every single game, but he's had a carry in all but 2 of the games so far this season. 4 rushing yards, 15, 11, 15, 18. were his rushing totals in those games. So if you'd like to bet on Tyreek getting a carry in the primetime game in a must-win game, that thing is listed at half a yard. So
let's just hope it's not that little dip pass where like he runs in front of him, just flips it. That drives me nuts when it's technically a pass, but it's really a run.
I love those because I typically have the quarterback in daily fantasy. I have him stacked with the receiver. And Tyreek, if you're giving me a 1 yard depth target, I love those for those receiving yard overs. So I'm not going to complain if that happens.
See, I need you to stand by. I'm going to come back to you on those Sterling Shepard numbers, the catches and the yards. So stay clear, stand down for that. I do need to announce our next 4 winners of a year-long membership to SportsLine. All the analysis, all the simulations, all the cappers, everything. You're going to get it for 12 months, okay? At Jake_Rudolph24, at BBoyle44, at Nick TNPT, and at Jets3322. Thank you for leaving your Twitter handle in the chat. If you want to be eligible, you got to do it too. Let's get to 600. Let's get to 600. My man 420 Parlay King says, what's the weather in New York City? We're all on these passing props. Hey, 420. The game's in Kansas City. The game's in Kansas City, not New York City. And by the way, they don't even play in New York. They play in New Jersey. So it wouldn't have been right anyway. Damn. You can only lead the horses to water. You can't make them drink.
Hey, I can answer that question, though. I can't answer that
Yeah, me too. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, Kansas City. Look, it's been raining. It stopped around 5:30, 5:45. You've got about maybe a 2, 3, 4% chance of precipitation tonight. That was a tough word. I learned that this morning. And, yeah, so you're going to be good. There were weather earlier today. You might have a little fog, things like that, but weather should be cleared up.
I'm just teasing 420. He's in here all the time. We love 20. I only tease those that I know are here all the time, and I know they can take it. All right. Now, you mentioned the Shepard props. So we had a chat question, Sia. The number over 5.5 plus 135, and then I don't have the juice on over 60.5 for Sterling Shepard. Your thoughts?
I don't really like either of them. I'm a big Sterling Shepard guy, but, it's funny. I'm going to contradict myself a little bit here. Coming off an injury, it makes me a little nervous to take these props because they are kind of high, even though he's the most reliable target. What I do like is Kadarius Toney, though. I noticed just in the time that I said his prop was 55.5, it's already up to 56.5 where I'm looking. So clearly people think that's kind of low. Toney is so much more dynamic than Sterling Shepard. Sterling is certainly that guy that's going to have the surefire hands. He's going to catch the ball like in the critical moment. But Toney's the guy that can one move and he shakes you when he runs for 30 or 40 yards. So I don't like either of their reception props, but I do like the Kadarius Toney over yardage prop. And I do have to say, this is what I was going to say, Alan. Leave it to the guy with a 420 in his handle to get like the wrong city and the wrong state and like basically everything wrong. So, I mean, it was too fitting.
That is so true. Yeah. For those of you who don't know what 420 is, look it up. Look it up. It's so true. All right, we're just a couple of minutes away from the top of the hour, and you know what that means. Oh, by the way, he took it very well. Let's put up what 420 responded to me. He says, I need my marching orders. LOL. Very well played. Very well played. Thank you for taking that so well. So we're just a couple of minutes from the top of the hour, and that's when we do our Van Jefferson. We'll recap all of our official plays on the show. Then, of course, the ever-popular Donkey Parlay from our man M Squared coming at you in just a matter of moments. So a couple of more props. Now, I've got so many numbers going in my head. I apologize if I forget. Evan Ingram is a name that I keep hearing a lot, and he may or may not be my first touchdown it may be, but his yardage prop is over 32.5, and his catch prop is over 3.5. Does anybody like Evan Ingram, tight end for the Giants tonight?
Can I say one thing? I don't like it, but I want everyone to understand the Giants are one of the worst teams in the NFL at yards after catch. However, the Chiefs are one of the worst defenses in the NFL at giving up yards after catch. So I don't necessarily like that play, but pay attention to the yak tonight, especially early. It'll kind of give you an idea, if you're a live bettor, of where this game's going to go. Just wanted to say that.
Oh, love it. All right, DR in the chat says, this has me laughing my money off. Love the streams. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. We love getting notes like that. All right, keep pounding that like button. I need to get to 600. I need to give away 6 more year-long memberships to SportsLine for all of you devoted viewers that are watching out there tonight. And my phone just went off. The bosses will not stop. Now, we've got people wondering. They're asking for a same-game parlay tonight. That's what everybody wants. So, it's 8 o'clock. Mikey, are you prepared? Are you ready with your same-game donkey parlay? Because I want to do it right now. Can we do it right now?
We can do it right now.
Boom! Let's go. Mikey, the floor is yours. Let's do it.
All right. Look at the jeweler. Got it pulled up here. I don't even have to read off the cell phone anymore. I'm taking the New York Giants alternate spread plus 17.5. Kansas City -1 or -half, basically the money line on that one. The alternate total over 42.5, and then 65 plus receiving yards for Hill, 65 plus for Travis Kelce, and then 3 touchdown passes from Patrick Mahomes today comes back at plus 625.
Oh, my goodness. And this is so much fun. If you've never played the donkey parlay before, it keeps you just so interested in so many different parts of the game. A lot of these are alternate lines. You got to fight them at certain sites. But if you can get these in, man, it is so much fun. And when it cashes, it's just awesome. By the way, we have a very good competition going on right now on who the most valuable viewer is between Kelce. Ding, 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 ding. We just cashed the over there. And my man, Chad. Because, AB, Chad just said that the 420 account is your burner account. Stay off the weed. Stay off the weed.
Yeah, I was trying to hold that off until after Christmas, but yeah, everybody found out. So there we go.
Oh, my God. Chad is too much. If you haven't seen him on social media, an incredible Ted Lasso. And then Kelce just dropped the hammer on him with the Conor McGregor gif. And I can't say the word, but who is that guy? And I just laughed for so long when she dropped that on Chad on Twitter. It was awesome. It was just awesome. All right, we're up to almost 1,000 people watching. Can we get to 600 and then 800 likes? If you haven't hit the like button, you can only do it once. Take down the comments. Hit the like button, put them back up. Let's change lives. And also, I want to give away that $100 gift card to Paramount Plus. All right, but this is the time of the show where we do the Van Jefferson Memorial first touchdown of the game. And there's a lot of new viewers out there. So my man M Squared, he coined this one. First week of the year. Van Jefferson's going to score the first touchdown of the game. Boom, plus 4,000. Very next night, my man Sia said, hey, how about Mr. Williams from the Ravens? Boom, plus 1,200. And then, as he so very nicely corrected me a week ago, he's done this not once, but Sia, how many times?
It was twice. And the second one was just a smallish 35-1. No big deal, really.
So who will be the next one? Alex has told me privately that it is eating him alive that he has not joined the ranks of cashing this particular fun bet. And all this is fun because it has to be over plus 1,000. So get out your paper, get out your pencil, because here comes 5 different plays. And if I know my guys, they'll give you a little bonus too. They'll give you a little shot for the money. So M Squared, this is his segment. So as you guys know, he always gets to go first. Mikey, what do you got?
All right, Coach. I think it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs that score the first touchdown on this one tonight. So I'm taking Derrick McKinnon, backup running back, 2,200 in this one. He's playing 30% of the snaps, which is a pretty healthy number for someone at 22-1 here. He's been targeted at least 4 times in each of the last 2 games. They like to use him down here in the red zone at times. I think they're going to pass. They want Mahomes to get these passing touchdowns tonight. They're going to be very, very aggressive. Look for some stuff in the red zone here. But Derrick McKinnon going to dig deep a little bit here. I think he finds the end zone once tonight, and I think it's going to be the first score of the game.
All right, very good. Derrick McKinnon. All those weapons. And Derrick McKinnon. By the way, my man Matt in the chat said, sending big love to my early edge bros. SportsLine's a big part of my day. Peace. Thank you very much for making this a big part of your day. So, McKinnon is the first play. So, Alex, I feel like this would be a perfect spot. I'm a little paranoid on where I put people in the show because I really want you to cash. I really do. So what do you got for us tonight, Alex?
Yeah, I'm going Kadarius Toney. I saw this on FanDuel plus 1,700. I've been extremely impressed with Tony this season. He's a man possessed over his last 3 games. He's turned 25 targets into 19 catches for 303 yards. That has also come with Tony missing over 3 quarters due to injury as well. He's yet to score a touchdown this season, but he just looks extremely explosive. He and Daniel Jones has shown a ton of chemistry. The Chiefs have been destroyed by opposing wide receivers that rank 31st in defensive DVOA. I'm going Kadarius Toney. To me, he looks like the most explosive option on the New York Giants offense. So going with him.
All right, very good. Bazooka says, Coach, by the time we hit this first touchdown again, we're going to only break even. That's why it's a fun bet. It's not about adding it to your total for the season. It's just having fun on a Monday night. Come on. All right, AB, you're up next.
Yep, I'm going with my man Pringle here. Look, I'm going to ride him. I think this is the Pringle game tonight. Plus 1750. Again, we've seen his target shares go up from 2 to 2 to 3 to 6 over the last 4 weeks. And I think that especially in the red zone, and you look against a New York Giants team that is giving up a ton of touchdowns in the red zone, they're going to look to somebody they trust. That man is Pringle. It's plus 1750.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to the man that I trust the most in our crew. See ya. Floor is yours.
Well, this is really good news for Alex because we have the same guy. But even better news is his number at FanDuel. I see it actually higher, longer at different places. I've seen it as high as 25 to 1 and 20 to 1. So FYI, shop around if you can. But the point is, I like Kadarius Toney for the same reasons. Listen, I understand maybe Sterling Shepard's a more reliable target, and I also understand Kansas City might score first. I mean, that's a given that odds are they will score first. But listen, if the Giants get the ball first, they got a really good shot to score. And Kadarius Toney can shake anyone in that Kansas City secondary and find open space. So give me Kadarius Toney all day at 25 to 1, 17 to 1, 20 to 1, wherever you can find him.
All right, very good. I'm going to go with Evan Ingram. I actually got this from somebody on Twitter today who sent in the picks. Says, Coach, use it. I said, all right, plus 1,400. I've got no reason, but right now I haven't hit it anyway. So I'm going to go Evan Ingram plus 1,400. Bang it. All right, now we've only got 3 minutes left because you guys always say we got to stop 5 minutes early so you can get these plays in. By the way, Anthony, you're at a casino. You get these in earlier. We gave them to you 30 minutes ago. Come on, we do the same thing every week. All right, I need the official plays that you have quickly for anybody that didn't get them in. And Jeweler, as we're giving them, if we could put the full screen up, that'd be amazing. Asia, let's come to you first. You have the Giants, correct?
Yeah, I have the Giants plus 10.5. I like that. And I have the Daniel Jones over, it might change depending on where you're looking. 246.5, 255.5. I actually like it both. Listen, Kansas City's going to put a bunch of yards and a bunch of points on the board. Daniel Jones is going to have to match it with his arm. So I think 255 or lower is a very fair number.
Very good. AB.
I'm on the Chiefs first half minus 6.5. I'm on Byron Pringle over 22.5 receiving yards tonight.
And remember, we've got a SportsLine showdown between Sia and my man AB for the game. 10.5 is the official number for that bet. Alex, talk to me.
I'm on Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions and Daniel Jones over 241.5 passing yards. I gave both these props out on Friday on our show. They've since both moved. Tune into our show, me, Coach, Uncle Dave, Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Boom. All right, Mikey.
I got Tyreek Hill over 81.5 receiving yards. I would play it all the way up to 86 if you're still shopping around for that one. And then I have the same game parlay that I gave out here. I think that'll be on the recap coming up next, but it was the Giants plus 17.5, the Chiefs minus a half, over 42, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce both to have 65 plus, and then Patrick Mahomes 3 passing touchdowns comes back at plus 625.
All right, very good. All right, we have passed 600 likes, so put quickly your Twitter handle into the chat. We're going to pick 6 new names as I read off the recap, and then we end every show with a 30-second take on what they're most looking forward to. So we'll leave the recap up, and I'll go around, and it's a 15 or 20 seconds. Put those Twitter handles in. We'll pick the 6 very, very quickly before we go off the air in like 2 minutes. So, see, I'm going to come back to you. What are you most looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to seeing whether the Kansas City Chiefs are actually a good team in the AFC. And I think we might find, it's not like the Giants are a good enough team where we're going to find out a little bit more about the Kansas City Chiefs. They've really been quite bad this entire season, in my opinion. They got to turn it around at some point or they're just not going to be relevant to the conversation. I think it's going to be an exciting game tonight. I expect Kansas City to win, but I think it'll be a little tighter than people imagine. And look out for Daniel Jones. He's not the quarterback that people think he is. I think he's a little bit better.
All right, very good. AB, talk to me.
Yep, this game is going to be won in the red zone, and the reason is because the Giants are the worst red zone offense in the NFL, but the Chiefs are the fourth worst red zone defense in the NFL. So keep an eye there. I know we talked yak earlier. Keep an eye in the red zone. Whoever's winning that percentage probably gets it done tonight.
Prop stars, what are you most looking forward to tonight?
Travis Kelce having 7+ catches and Daniel Jones throwing for over 255 passing yards.
Mikey, bring us home.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those hitting for Alex as well, and I'm looking forward to Tyreek Hill going at least 82 to 83 receiving yards here would be a great thing. But really looking to see how aggressive Kansas City is early and how aggressive they are throughout the game, even if they get the lead. I expect them to be as sharp and as focused as they've been all season. There's absolutely no reason for them not to be in prime time at home. I think it's a major statement game for them. I think they're really fortunate that Derrick Henry went down. They're really fortunate with the results in the AFC this weekend. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for them to step up, take advantage of it, and put themselves right back into the conversation in the AFC.
All right. Very, very good. Now, one thing we have to do before we get out of here. Now, we got to give away this Paramount Plus $100 gift card. Jeweler, do you have a way to do that, sir?
Well, I was thinking about it, and the Chiefs lead the NFL in a category giveaways this season. At least they did entering this week. So we're going to do a little trivia contest. Leave your Twitter handle and the number of giveaways the Chiefs have had this season in the live chat. And first one to get it, I'll tweet at you later once the show wraps. And I'll also tweet at the 600 like winners because you guys are just flooding in your handles right now, which is awesome.
This is awesome. This is awesome. All right, so the amount of turnovers that the Chiefs have in 2021, correct? All right, first person to get that correct, put it into the chat. You will win a $100 gift card towards a Paramount Plus subscription, and that would be good for like a year, I think. It's like $5 a month or $9 a month, something like that. But that'll be good for a while. So we got a bunch of 11. Now, you guys are just guessing now.
I just saw the winner.
You did?
Chris,
how many is it?
Chris Whitting, 17.
17. That's a crazy high number. So, Chris, congratulations. Scott had it too, but you were a little bit late, Scott, to the Ponte. All right, the jeweler will tweet out the 6 winners for the next round of year-long memberships, and our community continues to keep growing, and we can't do it without all of you. Don't forget tomorrow morning, our live morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern time, of course, and then our Week 9. Can you believe it? Our Week 9 NFL mega preview. We never stop. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time, right here on our YouTube channel. If you haven't followed us yet, subscribe, please. We've got over 18,000, which is an amazing number, and we just need more and more and more. Turn on those notifications so you know every single time a new show drops into your feed. All right, with that being said, there's only one thing left to do, and you know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Monday Night Football tickets straight to the pay window. For M Squared, for Prop Stars, for AB, for Sia, for the jeweler, puts it all together here at the brand. And for our entire team behind the scenes at SportsLine, tell all your friends the only sports betting brand that you need to worry about. We like to call it the Early Edge. Good luck.